Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're tuning in. Today, we're tackling a massive challenge that pretty much every modern parent loses sleep over, right? Navigating the completely overwhelming world of educational technology. But don't worry, we're going to cut right through the noise and build a highly actionable survival guide for your kids, covering kindergarten all the way up through high school.
I mean, let's just be honest for a second. We all know that familiar pang of anxiety when we hand over a tablet to our kids. You hand it over hoping they'll learn something, but like a half hour later, you start wondering if they're actually just mashing buttons. Well, today we are going to completely reframe that experience. We're shifting our goal from simply limiting screen time to actively optimizing it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our ages and stages roadmap for today. We'll be covering the digital learning landscape, early foundations with K-5 apps, study systems for older kids, comprehensive K-12 platforms, and finally, choosing the right fit. So whether you've got a third grader or an 11th grader, rest assured we've got you covered.
Section 1. The digital learning landscape. Distinguishing digital distraction from actual digital learning. You know, the landscape of educational tech has shifted dramatically in just the last few years. We are definitely no longer dealing with just passive games where kids pop balloons for points. We're looking at a whole new era of adaptive systems and AI tools that quite literally think and problem solve right alongside your child. We really have to reframe the narrative here. Screen time can be a cognitive gym. With the right curated tools, a tablet isn't just a mindless digital pacifier used to buy yourself 20 minutes apiece. It's actually a highly effective workout for long-term academic growth that constantly adapts to your child's specific strengths and weaknesses. Section 2. Early Foundations. Gamified paths to literacy and math for K through 5. So for our youngest learners, the primary goal is finding foundational path-based apps. Things that gently guide them step by step without requiring you to literally sit over their shoulder and supervise every single click. And this brilliantly illustrates the current top contenders in the early learning space. We've got 3 real heavy hitters. Now, while Hooked on Phonics and ABC Mouse offer incredible structured curriculums for a monthly fee, Khan Academy Kids offers an absolutely unbelievable free value. I mean, it has 0 ads, features activities that directly align with Common Core standards, and is just a powerhouse for ages 2 to 8. But a quick word of caution as you navigate these apps. You really have to beware the virtual pet trap. This is incredibly common in massive, comprehensive programs like ABC Mouse. While the curriculum is fantastic, the apps often reward kids with digital tickets that they can spend on virtual pets or room decorations. And before you know it, your 5-year-old has spent 2 solid hours feeding a digital hamster instead of actually progressing on their learning path. And that is exactly why Hooked on Phonics stands out as my absolute favorite top pick for early learners. It totally bypasses that distraction trap. It has simple, strictly guided learning paths. Plus, a subscription actually includes Hooked on Spelling and Hooked on Math. But my absolute favorite feature, and honestly a real game changer for this age group, is the inclusion of monthly physical practice packs. It just seamlessly bridges the gap between digital screen time and tactile, hands-on learning right at the kitchen table. Section 3. Study Systems. Middle and High School Mastery. Now, as your kids grow, the goal completely shifts. We're moving away from those playful foundations and focusing on independent, highly rigorous study habits for tougher subjects. We essentially have to leave behind those crusty 2005 working harder methods. Passively rereading notes, writing out physical paper flashcards, and trying to blindly memorize formulas. It's exhausting and it's terribly inefficient. Think about it. Physical flashcards don't know your child. They force students to waste time reviewing things they already know perfectly well. Instead, we want to transition to working smarter, a modern AI-driven approach that utilizes active recall, spaced repetition algorithms, and interactive problem solving. So the crucial point is really understanding why these modern tools work, which brings us to the forgetting curve. This is a psychological principle stating that your brain dumps about 70% of what it learns within a single day unless that information is strategically revisited. This is exactly why tools like Anki are an absolute secret weapon for older kids. Anki is an app that automates spaced repetition. It basically acts like a digital brain, showing your child a specific flashcard right at the exact millisecond they are about to forget it. It makes studying nearly effortless.
And speaking of secret weapons, let's talk about ChatGPT. Now, older students absolutely should not be using ChatGPT to cheat or to do their homework for them. That completely defeats the purpose.
Instead, teach them to use specific prompts to turn the AI into a custom conversational tutor. Having the AI act as a strict examiner or asking it to quiz them with progressively harder questions forces the student's brain to engage in active recall. It totally transforms passive reading into a highly engaging, personalized cognitive workout.
When it comes to STEM subjects, we've got to move past rote memorization. Take Brilliant.org, for instance. It forces students to stop guessing at math. If your child struggles with really complex topics like quadratics, Brilliant doesn't just show them a passive video lecture. It gives them interactive graphs and variables that they have to physically tweak and manipulate on screen until the visual logic of the math suddenly just clicks in their mind. They are finally understanding the why, not just memorizing the how. Now, for those high schoolers staring down major exams, this is the ultimate, highly effective workflow. Step 1, they take past papers under strict timed conditions, using a platform like PMT. Step 2, they use platforms like Medley AI for real-time marking. And Medley is incredible. It actually uses handwriting recognition, so your teen can practice with a stylus, maintaining that authentic exam feel while getting instant teacher-level feedback. And step 3, they log every single thing they get wrong into a centralized mistakes note database in an app like Notion. It systematically turns their academic weaknesses into their greatest strengths.
Section 4, Comprehensive K-12 Platforms. The rise of all-in-one digital ecosystems. Sometimes pulling together individual apps just isn't enough, especially if a student needs highly structured, classroom-like support right at home. That's where we look to the massive all-in-one digital ecosystems that are currently taking the global edtech world by storm. You've got platforms like Byju's utilizing high-end visual animations, Vedantu offering live interactive classes, and Topper using AI to adapt perfectly to a student-specific curriculum board. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is DoubtNut. If a student is stuck on a math or physics problem late at night, they simply snap a quick photo of it on their phone, and the platform instantly provides a video tutorial explaining the answer, often in their local language. I mean, that is just incredible on-demand support. To give you a real sense of scale here, experts project there will be over 300 million Indian learners consuming educational technology on these types of platforms by 2030. That's huge, and it proves that these comprehensive, all-in-one virtual schooling ecosystems aren't just a temporary trend. They are rapidly becoming the foundational future of global education.
Section 5, Choosing the Right Fit. Let's move to and see how this builds into curating your child's digital toolkit.
You have seen a lot of options today, but please remember you do not need every single app we just discussed. In fact, app overload is actually detrimental. The goal is pinpointing the exact right tool for your child's current developmental and academic stage. Here is your core takeaway summarizing everything we've explored in this explainer. You have to match the technology to the academic problem in front of you. K-5 learners, they need structured, gamified paths that teach foundations without frustrating them. Middle schoolers, they need to unlearn bad habits and adopt smart workflows like active recall. And high schoolers, they need comprehensive, feedback-heavy support for complex problem solving and rigorous exam prep. I want to leave you with a final, provocative thought today. Tomorrow, when your child inevitably asks for a screen, what are you going to hand them? Are you going to hand them a distraction, or are you going to hand them a second brain? You now have the ultimate playbook to completely transform your family's relationship with technology. Start applying these tools today and watch your child's screen time become the ultimate catalyst for their learning. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and I'll see you next time.